Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shaz here with another video, and today we're going to talk about the weirdest thing that I found on the internet, and it's a video and we're going to jump right into it, so stay tuned if you don't want to miss out. So let's go.
Can I have a quick show of hands? Who's heard of Tencent? Great start.
If you look at the world's most valuable companies, you won't be surprised to find the likes of Apple, Microsoft and Google. But one name does stand out: Tencent. The company is worth more than the likes of Facebook, MasterCard and Samsung. And yet, if you...
He said it like that for a reason, guys. Tencent. There's a reason. Keep watching.
Ask the majority of people what Tencent does, you'd be met with a confused look. The truth is that Tencent does everything. Because whilst Tencent's
Catch that, guys. Tencent does everything. Catch the word everything.
mascot is a friendly looking penguin, a more accurate animal to embody this conglomerate would be a giant octopus, with tentacles reaching into almost every industry you can think of all over the world. In most places, Tencent operates from the shadows, hence why it's not a household name. But whether you realize it or not, you almost certainly use products or services Tencent is involved with. However, in Tencent's home country of China, it's a very different story. Everyone is aware that Tencent dominates their lives, and that's because in China, Tencent has achieved the seemingly impossible: one app to rule them all.
The Chinese company I'd be most worried about is Tencent because of WeChat.
In China, it is sort of impossible to live without WeChat. It dominates everything.
It dominates everything, right? And it's almost impossible to live without it. Not because you choose to, but because you're made to, right? So stay tuned.
Every aspect of life in China, from banking, gaming, shopping, social media.
It's so essential to their daily life. One business executive compared it to me, saying that it was like water or electricity.
You see, Tencent created an app called WeChat that's been dubbed the Everything app, or the operating system of China. And that's because almost all of China's 1.4 billion population use this app for an average of 4 hours every day. That's more than the average American user spends on all social media apps combined. And the reason people in China use WeChat so much is because it's basically every app you can think of rolled into one.
It's all rolled into one. Did you hear that part? Rolled into one. Every app you can think of rolled into one. Wow.
It's essentially Facebook, PayPal, WhatsApp, Netflix, Google, Spotify, Uber, Yelp, Tinder, Zoom, YouTube, Deliveroo, Amazon, and lots more, all in one single app. Now, there's no doubt that this is extremely convenient.
How did they do that? First of all,
everything connected in one app and one profile. You pay your bills through it, call your friends through it, and essentially live your entire life through it. However, one single company having access to literally all your data, every aspect of your life, from your exact location to your entire bank history to every message and call and search you've ever made, it's a lot. And then it gets worse when you realize that the line between where Tencent ends and the Chinese government begins is blurry, meaning the Chinese Communist Party, known as the CCP, has access to all that information as well, making WeChat one of the...
oh my gosh! No words.
most powerful surveillance tools ever created. Not just that, but private messages and images that are sent through Tencent's apps like WeChat are scanned to see if they need to be censored. If you say any...
Scanned
thing that the Chinese government doesn't want you to, the best case scenario is your message just doesn't get delivered. Worst case scenario is you end up in jail or simply disappear. For example, one citizen literally just made a light-hearted joke to some friends about a government official and soon found himself jailed for a text. And it almost...
jailed for a text? Where's the privacy at? Where's privacy? Where's privacy? Are we not allowed to talk about people that are high? Are we not allowed to talk about people that are here anymore?
seems like the CCP wants people to be aware of this in order to prevent them even trying to say anything they don't like in the first place. Because the Chinese government has even openly confirmed that it can access deleted WeChat conversations as well without permission from the user or courts. Now, of course, as we know from Snowden's leaks, countries surveilling their citizens with technology is certainly not just something that happens in China. However,
shouldn't this be illegal somehow?
But China has definitely taken it to new levels. Amnesty International is an organization focused on human rights and carried out a report of how messaging apps handle their data, and they concluded the worst offender by far was Tencent, the only company to literally score 0 out of 100 for its treatment of data. This is because
0! They scored 0, y'all! 0!
of massive problems about transparency and what they do with data, where it ends up, and not even denying that it gives the CCP a backdoor to access all encrypted messages. Now, of course, pretty much all Chinese companies have to have some ties to the CCP in order to be allowed to succeed. But Tencent is unique because it has been allowed to monopolize entire industries in China and use brutal tactics to wipe out competitors without any interference from regulators. But
What? Without any interferences from regulators? Allowed, basically? Like, what?
in exchange for that freedom, some would say as a result, they've been turned into a weapon for the Chinese government. It's estimated the CCP has thousands of members inside Tencent, including party officials on the Tencent executive board who can influence decisions. For example, during the initial COVID outbreak, the Chinese government used WeChat for population control, assigning color codes to determine whether people were healthy and what they were eligible for, like if they were allowed to leave their homes or not. Another example is ordering Tencent to change their games to conform to Communist Party values, as well as making Tencent add facial recognition to their games so kids can only play them for a max of 90 minutes per day. But
they're doing facial recognition to stop kids playing games longer than 90 minutes per day. So a child cannot lie and say, I've only been on here for 20 minutes, because like they've got your face saying you've already had your 90 minutes, you can't play anymore. Like, what? Kids? I'm alright doing my own parenting, thank you very much.
Before you think this doesn't affect you, think again.
The vision of Tencent is to connect people and connect everything.
You see, once Tencent built their monopoly in China, they began expanding abroad and essentially went on one of the biggest shopping sprees in history. They've invested heavily in companies like Reddit, Tesla, Discord, Spotify, Snapchat, and Universal Music. And those are just a couple of the many hundreds of companies outside of China that Tencent are now involved with. They are also the largest gaming company in the world, with revenue significantly higher than any competitor. This is particularly crazy when you consider that gaming is just one of countless different industries Tencent operates in. And yet their gaming division alone is bigger than the entire company of Nintendo or EA. And the reason Tencent is so dominant in gaming is because they own 100% of Riot Games, creator of League of Legends, 40% of Epic Games, creator of Fortnite, not to mention stakes
100%, and Fortnite too. 40% Fortnite? That's nearly half, if you ask me.
in Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, and so many more of the world's most popular games. The same is true in other industries. For example, Tencent's payment division is nearly as big as PayPal's entire business, and its reported WeChat Pay generates over 1 billion payment transactions per day, more than Visa and MasterCard combined.
What? More than Visa and MasterCard combined? Bro.
They've also got Tencent Music. They're huge in esports, and are even now involved in making Hollywood movies like Men in Black.
I think if you look
Men in Black too? Okay.
at Tencent Music, the company makes about 400 million 500 million in profit.
In other words, it's hard to fully grasp just how large Tencent is. But it's only recently that the West has started to realize the influence Tencent, and thus China, actually have. One small example was how Blizzard, the World of Warcraft studio partially owned by Tencent, banned a gamer who endorsed the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong. In other words, China seemed to be using Tencent as a weapon to influence decisions outside of China. This caused many people to ask, how is this one Chinese company seemingly now dictating what people in the US are allowed to say? The same was true with the NBA. You see, Tencent Video
Are you kidding me? What happened with the NBA? Let's hear that part. Roll on.
has a deal with the NBA to stream their matches. But in 2019, Daryl Morey, manager of the Houston Rockets, tweeted, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." In response, Tencent said they would not be streaming any Rockets matches in future. So, soon after this, the manager was forced to delete his support for Hong Kong, backtrack on his stance, and apologized for his inappropriate tweets. Players then came out stating that they love China.
Yeah, we apologize.
Look at this guy's face. He don't mean it at all. Man's scared. Man's like, yeah, we apologize. Yeah, I don't really mean it, but yeah, let me just apologize for apologizing sake because he don't mean it.
You know, we love China. We love playing there.
So, whilst in recent years some have started to wonder if China could use Tencent to influence things abroad, the answer seems to be that they already are. Multiple governments from the US to India have now called WeChat a security threat, and others have suggested it's a monitoring weapon in your pocket.
And turning now to the major decision by the Trump administration banning the popular social media apps TikTok and WeChat from U.S. app stores.
U.S. President Donald Trump issued an executive order last month.
Wait, is TikTok owned by Tencent? Or are they related? Makes me wonder. Why does everybody else want to be a bit sus with TikTok? Makes me wonder. I'll think on that.
Targeting the app as a security threat.
But what's perhaps most fascinating about Tencent's story is that you can look at it in two ways. On one hand, Tencent is one of the greatest business success stories ever. At one point, the company had only $1,000 in its bank account.
Wow.
And so the journey of how a group of friends turned their struggling startup into one of the world's largest companies is remarkable and filled with useful lessons and genius business strategies. What they have achieved is ridiculously impressive. And there is—
Wait, haven't they achieved what they achieved by taking everybody else's ideas and putting it into one? How's that so good? You stole everybody else's business and put it into one for yourself. You're a little bit sus, you. Don't trust you, me. Carry on.
There is definitely an argument that Tencent has been unfairly caught in the middle of a political storm that they didn't want any part of. But on the other hand, Tencent is often surrounded by controversy. This includes their brutal monopolistic practices to crush any competition, their blatant plagiarism of just ripping off other—
You hear that? Ripping off other companies' ideas. That's right. That's what they do.
companies and apps,
Plagiarism.
their extreme censorship and violations of privacy and freedom of speech, accusations of poor working conditions, and the fact multiple countries now see it as a national security risk because of its close ties to the Chinese government.
Oh boy, not good there.
But I do want to be clear, to just dismiss Tencent as a puppet of the CCP is unfair. In fact, right now, the Chinese government is actively hurting Tencent's business, and is responsible for wiping hundreds of billions of dollars off Tencent's valuation, which of course just raises even more questions. Why would the CCP be damaging one of its most useful assets? As you can see, the Tencent story has a lot of different pieces to it. There is both good and bad, and several plot twists along the way. Honestly, I've covered lots of different business stories, but Tencent is one of the most fascinating. In this video, we're going on a journey through
Fascinating, you guys. So I will stop this video right here and just say, wow, I am flabbergasted at just how much power Tencent has. Well, how much power can one company have? Like, how much can they have? Like, they're in charge of the whole of China, and who knows, one day they could be in charge of all of us, like puppets. But anyways, that's just my opinion, and you guys let me know what you think about this video. And like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I love you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.